you know, the because you have a very brilliant idea, but a lot of people in Korea they don't believe
Hmm.
somehow, and they are so busy working on the job. They like invent something, try to sell something, and still people are like don't use much internet. They're moving person to person, so it's somehow their mind is always still stuck into the old way. So I try to persuade them. Some still getting a little bit, but I believe this is the what I watched you first time. It worked. You've done so many times.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah,
a lot of people. Yeah.
and we've done it all over the world too. Our biggest country now, besides the U.S., is Australia, and
Oh, really?
yeah, we do a lot of stuff in Australia, and then of course Canada. I tend to be active in English-speaking countries because they're based on common law from the
Mm-hmm.
UK. And so all of the rules and of the road, the laws, the terminology, all tend to work across the very majority of English-speaking countries. So I've never expanded it much beyond that, but it certainly works everywhere. We had one group back in 1996 that came out to visit me from Japan. And
Mm-hmm.
I worked with some of their people, and they were able to put together these programs in Japan. So they
Oh,
work
okay. Oh, so you're putting in the program in Japan. Oh, okay. That's very interesting. So I really want to put to this one Korea. I met a couple of a manufacturer and they electric wire, for example. It save a lot of electricity, also fireproof and then waterproof, but they don't know how to distribute to because English speaking countries, like for example, I mean it's cold place like Canada and the US. It
everywhere.
can use for a heating system. It's like a saving like 80 to 7% of the power bill and also very eco-friendly. So it can replace the gas and this kind of stuff. Also, they can be also medical benefit too. So they are really brilliant product. So I went to factory yesterday. So they gave some kind of a brochure, but I wanna, that some maybe electric wire distributor is here already in the US. I'm thinking about, like how you said the manufacturer, they don't know time to, distribute, or they don't know how to sell it. Some, that you maybe know there's some manufacturer, so can work together, start with also car part. Is in Korea, Hyundai is the biggest, Hyundai Kia is the biggest car company. But there is one other company, Hyundai Mobis. They control all the car part. So small factory have to be supplied to them. Otherwise, they will get the two or three times higher than them. They get the really smaller margin. So many smaller manufacturer, they having a lot of hard time here because its
Hmm.
manufacturing is dying. So I'm thinking about, I have a friend, it's OLE part,
Hmm.
auto part. They have 800 or the small distributor shop in the US. So I tell them where they getting the part from. Maybe now in China, but I don't know. Once you get the Trump administration change, they maybe have some issues, supplying the pop from China. So can be Korea and Vietnam, something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, my specialty is creating companies
Mm,
through acquisition.
mm,
So, where you have fragmented industries with a lot of small players, that's an opportunity for what we refer to here as a roll-up, where you bring them
mm,
together under
mm,
one umbrella, and then they have tremendous buying power. They have economies of scale. They have
mm,
all kinds of other things that enable them to be more profitable and be a more formidable competitor.
mm,
And that doesn't appeal to all the owners, but it'll usually appeal to enough of the owners that
Mm,
you can bring them together into a formidable group. And the way that we've done that is we do it through a sponsorship where we'll end up with 30% of the company. The owners of those companies end up with 70%. They each retain control of their own facility, but
mhm.
they now operate under this broader umbrella where their costs come down dramatically because
That's
of
right.
buying power and all of
Yeah.
that. But yet they still get to run their own individual operation. And the ones that are really smart about it will take and adopt the better technologies that we're able to access because of the size and the scale of what of the bigger group. And it usually will break into a couple of folks who never quite get it, never really hit the growth that they're capable of, and others just soar. I mean, they just soar, and the structure bonuses them in a very
Mhm.
productive way. So the folks who are really, making great progress really benefit financially from that. And so these are great structures, and they work really well everywhere because business is business.
Mhm.
There's the realities of business occur everywhere, and the only real difference is culture. In other words, the people themselves respond differently to change. They have different value systems. So the amount of work that they're willing to do or not willing to do is a part of that value system. So there are differences, but we found that our methods better the situation no matter where in the world they're taken.
Mhm.
And so there's always a benefit no matter where we go with them. So, that's basically what we're up to. How can I be helpful to you today?
So I talked with those car manufacturer. They almost they thinking about my idea. They want to get together, but I want you to maybe I want to work with you, but can you find some distributor like because they usually supply to the Hyundai, but they can sell the market to direct to car part to the US, something like, can you find a partner so we work together, something like that, and you can have
Um,
30%.
the way I work with other people these days is very structured because otherwise it's hard for me to optimize my time.
Mm-hmm.
So the programs that we have today are all built around acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we have is a program where we'll partner with somebody who wants to buy a company, even if they haven't found the company yet. If
Mm-hmm.
they want to buy a certain type company, we would agree on a criteria. What do you want to buy? How big is it? What
Mm-hmm.
industry is it in? Where is it located? And we'll be as specific as we can without being overly specific to the point where you
Mm-hmm.
can't find it, right? Because it's
Yeah,
too
that's right.
specific, and there isn't that one that's for sale.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be specific enough that it's the kind of company you want, and the size and the and has the resources that we're looking for, but
Mm-hmm.
not overly specific that it's too narrow, we couldn't find it. Then we have a program where we charge a commitment fee, and then after that we pay for everything. In other words, we
Mm-hmm.
pay for the search, we pay for when agreements have to be drawn up, we're the ones who find the financing. We pay for the professionals, the attorneys, the accountants for all the agreements. And the reason we structure it this way is the people we work with are usually not experts on acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to get into something where it's an open-ended expense, where they don't know what expenses are going to come down the line, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be responsible for them. So we do know, and we know that we're able to control and monitor those expenses in a way where we keep them within the confines of what the commitment fee was. So now we're responsible for it, and we generally expend anywhere from 80 to 110% of our commitment fee. Sometimes we'll
Mm-hmm.
actually spend more, but our money is made out of the success fee. So in other words, when the deal is done,
Mm-hmm.
uh, our partner doesn't pay the success fee. It comes out of the financing that we put together for the purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So the deal has enough financing in it to cover the success fee as well. So with the commitment fee as the only expense, we handle everything it takes to buy the company and make them the 70% owner. We're the 30% owner. and eventually they usually buy us out, 3 to 5 years down the road from their positive cash flow at that time. And that's what we do. And it's down to a very I have a great team of people that I rely on for all the
Mhm.
pieces, and everything just works very smoothly. If I try to do things on a one-off where we try to find a distributor or something like that,
Okay.
then I got to go do it, and I have no idea
Okay.
how to do that without getting help. And
Okay.
and so this it's a very ineffective use of the value of my time to do things like that.
I'm
Whereas if I can help
yeah.
people buy the company, I can do that, and it's real
Mhm.
efficient.
I'm looking for actually almost to find a distributor. So I wanna was going to uh to ask you or your expertise because the I don't yes I cannot buy because damn because I can't find it. I found like a company here manufacturer. I'm kind of find a distributor. I'm working on it. So I wanna how to connect them together because that's the
Now, yeah, where are you looking for the distributor? Is it in South Korea or is it here in the
US
U.S.?
US.
Yeah. Well, I will almost guarantee that somewhere in the United States there'll be a distributor for sale
That's
that
right.
has the elements where probably the owner is in his
Mm-hmm.
at least in his late 60s, maybe mid 70s, looking to
Mm-hmm.
retire, doesn't have a succession plan, no children who want to take over the business, and they're very strong on obviously selling.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we can find one that is auto parts or
Mm-hmm.
or in that arena,
Mm-hmm.
that would be good. Then depending on how ambitious you are,
Mm-hmm.
we can go after companies that aren't for sale, meaning companies that are doing 200, $300 million
Mm-hmm.
and a year in sales, and they're not for sale.
Mm-hmm.
But we can structure a deal where the business proposition to them is very strong. I mean, for example, at the end of the day, you need to decide that, let's say we found, and this is just an example. Let's say we found a 300 or $400 million a year distributor for auto parts. Okay, but they were in their 50s and they still wanted to grow the business. Would
Mm-hmm.
you be happy having them stay on and manage the company and being part of your network and integrating with what it is you want to do? So in other words, sometimes people think, well, I got to own control. Well, sometimes you do, but if you put their ideal together, you get everything you want without really having to own
Mm-hmm.
control. Or you can own control but leave the present management with a better model than they had before, so that they still end up making more money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and maybe they control operations, but you control the corporate structure. Okay, but you leave them running it because they already proved they know how to run it. They know how to
That's right.
distribute,
That's right.
which is the reason you want to buy them anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to buy them doing what
Mm-hmm.
they've already proven that they know how to do. So we can construct those kind of things so everybody wins and gets what they want.
That's legend. I really want that one. I'm just uh contacting a couple of people here. So so in that case, they need a commitment fee. We need a commitment fee to start with.
Yes, yeah, because otherwise we
That's
could spend
right.
a lot of time working on stuff,
Yeah, I know.
and
Yes,
then people
yes.
scratch their head and say, I really
That's
didn't
right.
want to do this.
That's what I'm looking for. I almost get there. So I have some fund is not I lost some of them in looking travel. So
Yeah.
I'm I'm very close to find that one. Or we're gonna do sell something into the Vietnam first, and we'll get the cash in, and then I will work with you. That's what I'm at the moment. So that's the reason I'm keep chasing you. So it's,
Yeah.
that you gave to me a partnership to find. So I persuade the people that idea. They love idea, but one person they said, "Oh, English is they think is the problem." So I said, "Don't worry, I can help." But still, they have fear, and their idea is not to move to action. In this state.
Yeah.
But I keep looking for.
Yeah. Well, one of the things, again, I don't know how prevalent it is in South Korea. I suspect it's very prevalent because there are parts of your country that in the business arena are very, very capable people, very capable people. And today we use artificial intelligence to translate anything.
Mhm.
So, in other words, if somebody sends us something in, in a South Korean language, we can have it translated into Chinese or have it translated into English or
Yes,
whatever
can be
we need it
done. Can be
translated
done.
into. And sometimes the wording isn't perfect, but
But
with
it worked.
with a good line of communication, you work through any of that. And if I had to speak it, I'd have a problem. But if I can speak it and then have or type it and then have artificial
That's right.
intelligence
That's right.
translated into South Korean to
Hmm.
Korean. So, then at the end of the day, if there's still a question, somebody's going to ask me the question in Korean,
Hmm.
and then
Yeah,
I'll answer it in English, but it'll get translated into
that's
Korean, and
right.
that
That's
a
right.
couple of times of back and forth, and we'll totally understand each other.
Can we make your program in Korean? I mean, I really want to do that
Yeah, well,
too.
yeah, the thought occurred to us, but here's a challenge that we have. Okay, we are so busy
I know. Yeah.
making money. Okay, and there is so much demand for what we do here that our biggest problem is just building is team building.
Hmm.
Is it was 80% of my time today is spent team building. In other words,
Okay.
hiring people, training them, making
Yeah,
sure
that's
that we
right.
have people able to handle every aspect of what we do with quality, right? With quality. And so that's the most profitable use of my time, because every time we get somebody trained in, it just opens up a bigger, a bigger arena of the business. So, but so again, I don't know exactly how we would do this, but we would love to have a Korean partner, for example, a South Korean partner, who this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to translate and distribute our program into into South Korea or China or Japan or
That that's
any of these other
actually
countries.
one of the my partner he want to do. So he said he really agree with them. But
Hmm.
in that case, how we have to be committed? How you want to structure? We will do all the stuff. We will translate your stuff, and we will study that one, and
Hmm.
maybe we'll start with maybe $100, the class. Already you have that one. We can
Hmm.
just translate it and sell it that one first. How
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, no, we would love to do that. Like I said, the biggest challenge is blocking the time to get the
Mm-hmm.
information to you, to make the
Mm-hmm.
deal, how we're going to work together. In other words, as you know, anything in life that's business, especially, is sort of a process, and you can expedite things, but it still takes time. So, my biggest challenge, frankly, is time, and
Mm-hmm.
the best place for us to have the original intersection is if we can help you to buy an American company that's a distributor for the kind of auto parts or whatever industry you
That's
want.
right. Mm-hmm.
That's the best place to start. And then from there, we'll take all the things that we're working on together, and I'd appoint somebody here to work with you to translate our program. Okay, but it's like I need to find a place to start where it's something we're already equipped to do as opposed to not equipped to do.
That's right. That's I told them this friend of mine. We have to done first to one at first. Work with Gordon
Yeah,
first.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I could do that. I will talk with this auto part guy and come back to you. So it's about like you said
Yeah. Now,
the
how big a
now
company? Yeah, how big a
150.
company?
Yeah.
How big a company would you need in the United States for a
Uh
distributor?
I mean, bigger will be better because Hyundai is everywhere. Hyundai part is, for example, he want to sell like the generator, and also there is I think a joint. He want to sell just two part because it's the most of car need generator can be go out. Some time goes by, and then like joint CB joint because you're moving around. There will be so they need these two part for so many Kia or Hyundai car is there, so they
Mm-hmm.
can make all this kind of stuff. So it's I mean, eventually, long run will help each other.
Now, what would be the advantage to an American company to have you as a partner? Okay,
It,
to
yeah, okay.
what could you do for that American company that if you were their partner would make their business much more profitable?
They're, they, they can receive the part half price,
Oh,
50% cheaper because now is and then Mobis. They're the older distributor all over the world. So they dominate like a monopoly. So, but small company cannot direct because they have certain numbers or something like that.
yeah, yeah, because that would be part of the attraction that we would use when we found a potential company that doesn't know they're for sale. Haven't even thought about selling. Where we would go to them with a proposition: we want to buy a portion of your company. We're
Mhm,
going to be your partner. We're going to help with capital so that you have
mhm,
money to grow, and then we're going to bring you these parts at half price that are the hot sellers
mhm.
of this particular type of company or
That's
of
right.
product. Okay, so you put together a total package, if you will, that almost makes it impossible for them to say no because they can own all of what they got, or they can own half of what they got, but with what you add, it's double what they had before.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
And that's the kind of thinking that you try to bring to it. Maybe you
Mhm,
can hit that, maybe you can't, but you can get close usually, and it becomes so compelling that that there's always a way to make the deal.
mhm, mhm. Yes, yes. That's definitely I'm thinking I gotta maybe have to go to the US. But I'm actually doing something in Vietnam as well. A lot of actually, Gordon, because of you, so many opportunity I can see. So many CEO is a struggle because they are so busy. They just grow 5 or 10% for each year. End of year, they have a strategy for how to make a 5 or 10% for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Because they always looking for a small run, but everybody looking like that, so they compete each other.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I learned very quickly when I bought my first motorcycle parts factory was is that if I worked really hard for the next 2 years, I could grow 10 or 12% a year. On the other hand, if I did what I already do to if I were to do what I already did to buy the first one, I could double my size in a year and do it with little or none of my own cash because I could leverage the whole purchase. Whereas to grow internally, I got to keep reinvesting my profits back in the business.
Mhm,
So I learned that the way to grow is by acquisition. If yes, you can have internal growth, and that's good to organically grow the business. But the way to grow in literally leaps and bounds is to acquire your competition, acquire complementary product companies, acquire companies that sell to the same customers you do, but sell something different. So now you can cross market your products with their products, and both of you have a much bigger marketplace just because you're together.
Even here, they never because they never thinking about that way. We are the fighting to win, not a like
Right?
collaborate because you're the
Yeah.
enemy,
Yeah.
like politician.
Well, yeah. Well, here we call it thinking outside the box, is what it's called here. And 80% of entrepreneurs are like what you're saying. They don't do that. They just put their nose to the grindstone. They feel if I want to get more successful, I just have to work harder. And it's not working hard that gets you the growth. It's working smart. That's always going to be more productive than just hard work. Hard. I work hard today, but I love what I do, so I don't feel
Yes,
like
I
work
can
a day in my
see.
life.
I can
You
see.
know,
Yes,
yeah, but I do work hard. I mean, if you look at the number of hours I work, it's probably 70, 80 hours a week.
I
And I'm
know.
very focused on what I'm doing, but I love it. I love the challenges involved. I love the type of work I do. And I'm always thinking outside the box,
Mhm,
how can I get something done at a much higher level? How can I disrupt the way it's
mhm.
currently done? You know, okay,
Because
because
it's
that's where the
yeah.
big money gets. That's what makes technology work. Technology disrupts the way it used to be.
You see like a Korea now because it's somehow political downturn. Like Korean money went down like 20% down now. You see, Barry, you guys can make a lot of money. If we export, we can make a lot of money because the US dollar is strong.
Hmm.
Now, actually, not at like a half percent, actually 80%, because
Hmm.
this one will be changed. US
Yeah,
dollar.
see, yeah, for the US, the strong dollar is not good for trading, actually, because because it's hard for us to export.
Yes, but that's always so if you have company here and there, so you can play it's a game. Also, Korea, we have and nothing, so we always import something, make it better and selling. That's
Yeah,
Korea's strength.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Korea has an incredible manufacturing capability to do it faster, cheaper, and with as
Yes,
good or not or if not better quality.
but
The
the
the quality
quality also very good
Yeah,
now.
there was a time when I was a really a young guy. I mean, late teens, early 20s. When you thought of things made in Korea, you thought of inferior products, that were made cheaply. Well, that's all changed now. Okay,
Yes,
today Korea has highly respected products today.
yes, they tried it so many times. Like you tried it so many. I tell them a lot of people, oh, like there is a person did a 38,000 company. They don't believe you. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but
Well, anyway, hopefully that
okay.
this concept of we call the program PIBA Gold. And what like to do is I'd like to have a gentleman contact you. His name is Daniel Udezi, Udezi, and he can fill you in on the program, how it works. He can answer almost any of your questions.
Okay.
If you need to set up another meeting with me for some reason, he can do that.
Mhm.
And but at least creates a bridge for you, a communication bridge that
Okay.
at least that conversation can continue.
But last time I asked you to your video, can I translate some of them? Like already you are proven. So I will double check and I introduce people just as because sometimes I tell you they don't. I can even make you can speak AI to Korean.
Yeah, but
Yes, it is.
that would be cool. That would be really cool.
Yes, can I do that? I mean, I can. That is
That would be really amazing.
yes, I can do that. I've done with someone, so at least get attract people because Korea now is a very bad economy here now. I tell them this is opportunity, but a lot of people, how
It is an opportunity because the bad economy means that you're going to be able to deliver at lower costs because the money will go further in your country, and that gives you the opportunity to be very, very competitive, which you already are
yes.
anyway, but very competitive. And the needs are going to be huge here in the United States. I mean, huge. I mean, Trump's got everybody optimistic here. He's got everybody optimistic. So you're going to see a lot of manufacturing that's going to return here, but that doesn't mean that everything's going to get manufactured here, but it means that there's going to be an opportunity for parts. There's going to be an opportunity for everything. And
Yes,
for you to have a really strong American connection cannot hurt you. I mean, it can
that's
only
right.
help.
Yes. Gordon, are you in the Florida? Not in the California. Are you
I'm
in
in
Florida?
California.
Oh, okay. You're not in Florida. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
so of the United States, I'm in the closest part to you,
I,
other
I
than
went to San Diego State,
Hawaii.
so I know
Yeah.
I was in the 7 year in the US.
Yeah, yeah. So Hawaii is the only thing we have that's closer to you.
Okay, thank you, Golden. So I will try to get the
All
persuade
right.
and get that one deal with them.
Yeah. Do I have your email? I think I do.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Okay. Well, what we'll do is I'll get you in touch with Daniel so the two of you can chat. And then at some point, as you're talking, if something comes up, Daniel will make sure that it comes to me. So he is a great connect point for you. I speak with him at least 2 or 3 times a week, and if there's something important that he needs me to know, he shakes me. He,
Also, how the
he literally
also
shakes
how
me.
about your health, Gordon? How's your health?
Health?
Yeah, very
Oh,
good.
great. It's great. They call me the Energizer Bunny here.
Okay. You only maybe need, I just went in Korea. There is a mat, electric mat, can actually cure a lot of your the blood circulating. This is a very special mat. You sleep
Yeah.
that one, you will be more energized. So I
Wow.
maybe,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah, even
amazing.
you can put it on the belt too. So you can make the strength, you sport
Uh,
you too.
yeah. The only
Go,
thing I've noticed as I've gotten older is I get pains in my legs. They're not great pains, but they're pains enough that I feel them like when I'm walking upstairs or walking up a hill or something like that. If I could get rid of those, I'd be a happy guy.
I think there is also you can sauna, sit on sauna as well. You can sit on. There is a heat coming in the from the bottom with
Hmm.
wooden with a special wood. So we will have wooden sauna as well.
Hmm.
That maybe I will send you some photo and then we making that one. You will love it, I
Really?
think.
You make it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
M-
wow.
Maybe we can need this one nearly need, I think. I believe this one. Korea people are very health conscious
Yeah.
because very health conscious. You know that. And face and
Yes.
then cosmetic. They're like crazy about too obsessed about health conscious.
Yeah. That's good. That's
But they
good.
don't know how to sell it. So I mean that's
Well,
everything was selling. So I
yeah,
maybe
yes, it
send
is.
that stuff to you. Maybe you can have a look. Once you approve, everybody would love it, I think.
Yeah. Well, just keep me in mind for that. That's a great thing. If there was anything like that that would work, I would be a great proponent of it
Yes, I will
yeah,
help you.
because
Yeah, I think.
you can tell by the way I am in business. Even my business is about sharing what I know and sharing knowledge and benefits because it's just my I know in the Asian cultures, there's a similar thing with you know with with universal energy.
That's
We're all
right.
part of
That's
one
right.
great
We
universe.
connected, I
Yeah,
mean, even
we're
you
all
would not.
connected. That's one. It's energy. Everything about you and I is energy, and how that
Mhm.
energy is directed and magnified gets right to who we are and how we think too. It's all part of that process. So there's a lot of alignment there. We call it different things, but it's the same stuff. It's the
I
same
think
thinking.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so anyway, I'd love it, to explore that with you too. But anyway, I'll get Daniel's information to you. He'll be a
Yeah.
great connect point here to our company. And if we can do something in the future that aligns, that would be great. I would love it.
Thank you, Gordon, so much. I call this was a miracle. I think it's meeting the people are miracle because 2 out of 8 billion. See, it's
Yeah,
not my
they're
choice. I'm meeting
amazing,
you.
isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And so far apart. I mean, if you look at it, we're on opposite sides of the planet here. But
Yes,
why
it's a
not?
miracle.
Yeah. Well, I find that with the electronic communication systems that we have today, communities are more about people of a common idea or motivation or goals than they are about geographical location or even culture. Okay, that there's that core energy and that reaches out across the distance, and once it connects, and it doesn't matter all the rest of the stuff. They find a way to make it happen, and that's great. And I really appreciate this meeting as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Gordon, so much your time. And you have a wonderful day. Thank
All
you.
right.
I
Well, you
will be
too, and
here.
I'll get Daniel's information to you. And again,
Okay.
thanks for setting this up. I appreciate
Yes.
it.
Bye now, Gordon. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.